Hello and welcome to the Sideboard here at the StarCityGames.com Invitational in Las Vegas. I'm Ken Crocker here with Level 2 Judge and Pun Extraordinaire, Chris Lansdell. Chris, how you doing today?
Not bad, not bad. Looking forward to grinding some wins out with this baby in front of us.
It is your baby.
That's for sure.
I've seen it on Magic Online, haven't seen it played in real life. We're on Red-White Soul Sisters.
Yeah, Pink Sisters as I like to call it.
Pink Sisters. I don't think that's what we're gonna call it. All right, so anyone who doesn't know about this deck, obviously it takes from the Soul Sisters kind of mono white weenie, gain all the life deck, but it has a little spice in it.
That's one way of looking at it. I like to say that we're going so deep, Kiora looks up at us. So why we're going deep here is we're a little wary about our opponent being able to take care of some of our creatures.
How wary?
Norrin level wary.
So you have 3 Norrin
so
wary.
deep, Jacques Cousteau deep, my friend. So the reason Norrin works so well is that he's just going to gain you so much life with your soul creatures here. Like we're running 10 main deck.
3 Soul Warden, and then you have 3 Auriok Champion as well. So you have a bunch of sisters.
We're looking to gain some life, yeah.
Fair.
So whenever we're casting a spell, whenever your opponent's casting a spell, whenever we declare attackers, Norrin goes away. Then Norrin comes back, and then we gain some life.
And then it triggers all the life gain and the other things that we might have in the deck as well.
There may be some other things, the mere thought of which make people run away.
The mere thought?
The mere thought.
Why is that the mere thought?
Should we go there?
You already went there.
There are mere tokens in my box because we are playing Genesis Chamber.
So Genesis Chamber, whenever a non-token creature comes into play, if Genesis Chamber is untapped, you get a 1/1 mirror.
Yes.
So basically Norrin comes back, triggers all your Soul Sisters, and then it also triggers your Genesis Chamber, which also triggers all your Soul Sisters.
Yeah, and the great thing about Genesis Chamber, it does trigger off your opponent's creatures. It gives them tokens, but you're still gaining a load of life.
Sure.
And you might be thinking, well, why would we want to give our opponent a bunch of blockers?
Why would we want to give
Don't worry, I have it on lock.
He's got it on lock. He's got it figured out.
So we've given our opponent a legion of blockers.
A legion of blockers.
A legion.
This is getting bad.
So we're pretty loyal though, so we have Legion Loyalists to get through here.
So Legion Loyalist, not exactly a modern all-star.
Or a standard all-star.
Or a standard.
Or a block constructed all-star.
Or an EDH all-star.
I may have played it in a draft once.
Yeah, draft, like 14th pick-ish.
I mean, somewhere around there.
But yeah, so you're attacking through, and all your guys gain first strike and trample. So,
well,
I mean, they're all 1/1s though. So what do you?
You're missing the key part that they can't actually be blocked by tokens.
Ah, yes, of course.
So that's really good when you're giving them a bunch of tokens. It's just
sure. So what other kind of things can we do? I see you have a little bit of counters that we could be gained here.
Yeah.
Up 2 creatures in your deck.
Yeah.
You got 3 Champion of the Parish and 3 Ajani's Pridemate.
Right, and Ajani's Pridemate is in a lot of Soul Sisters lists just because you're gaining incremental life gain, and each one of the Soul Sisters is going to put a counter on it.
Sure.
So it gets huge
really big.
Really quickly. And Champion of the Parish, all of the Soul Sisters are human, even the Auriok Champion.
Yeah.
So Champion is just going to trigger. Norrin is also a human, so every time it comes back, Champion of the Parish is going to keep getting bigger and bigger.
The only thing that aren't humans in your deck are the 2 Legion Loyalists and the 3 Ajani's Pridemate. So
I mean, you could also count this guy up here.
I mean, yes, but you're not casting Purphoros as a creature.
No, you're casting.
Purphoros seems like it's pretty much one of your win conditions.
It basically is going to win the game. If we're not winning with first striking, trampling, Ajani's Pridemates, and Champion of the Parishes, then the triggers from Purphoros with the Genesis Chamber and the Norrin are going to kill them really quickly. We're just going off.
And then, you want to draw some cards every once in a while. So red-white card draw?
There's not a lot of it.
No, there's not.
But if we're bringing Norrin into play for free pretty much every turn, then you can use Mentor of the Meek, just draw all of the cards.
All the cards.
Approximately.
About.
Yeah.
All of the
Genesis
cards.
Chamber, Norrin, Mentor of the Meek, 2 mana, draw 2 cards, gain some life, get a whole bunch of dudes.
So you got a bunch of life, why not play some Sarah's Descendants?
It seems reasonable.
And then to bring it all together, we got Ranger of Eos.
Yeah, Ranger might be the secretly best card in the deck because you're relying on, you don't have a trouble drawing your Soul Sisters most of the time. But if you don't have Legion Loyalist or Norrin the Wary, it can be very difficult to get through. Sometimes you have 60 or 70 life, you're in no danger of dying, and you need a Sarah's Ascendant. Ranger of Eos is basically every 1-drop in the deck. That's the reason I'm on 3 right now. 2 might be correct. Maybe an extra Purphoros could get shaved somewhere. The numbers aren't concrete. I'm really liking the way the deck works right now. Burn is a buy. The smaller zoo decks really can't get through unless they have an amazing draw.
Yeah, and you're gaining all the life anyway.
And Twin Twin needs Electrolyze or they can't beat you, and Auriok Champion really laughs at Electrolyze. it's quite good, really.
And then you finally have a couple spells on the deck. So you
Yeah.
got 4 Path and 2 Lightning Helix. I'm assuming this is comboing with the 1-0 Soulfire Grandmaster.
Yeah.
So we do have a lot of soul.
We
in
do,
this deck.
but we're not soldiers. There are no soldiers. This is why you have me here, man.
Yeah, this is what I asked for, I guess.
So, Soulfire Grandmaster, in addition to Lightning Helix, which is just gross,
Yeah.
in the board we have some great options that make Soulfire just lock people out of the game. If we want to move to the board, Celestial Purge.
We're moving to the board regardless. It's your deck tech.
Celestial Purge with Soulfire Grandmaster can really do some damage to like the Grixis decks.
Sure.
Because you're taking out their Tassigas, their Anglers. If they have Young Pyromancer, that's not a thing that you need to worry about. It really mows through a lot of permanents. Blood
Wear
Moon.
and Tear for
Wear and Tear.
Things like Affinity.
Well, Chalice on 1 is kind of scary.
Sure. I can see that considering your mono 1 drops pretty much.
Infect is also a bad matchup, and being able to take out their Inkmoth Nexus can be very important. Sometimes they'll bring in Wild Defiance.
Is that what the chains are for as well?
Chain to the Rocks is just an incredible answer to everything.
Yeah, anything that doesn't have Abrupt Decay, probably.
Yeah, and the thing is, if they have Abrupt Decay, it's already so stretched because they really want to take out your Genesis Chamber. They don't want to leave a Sarah's Ascendant on the board. So they have limited answers, limited things that they can do with their Abrupt Decay, and Chain to the Rocks is just a 1 mana answer to essentially anything.
Fair enough. So I want to talk about one particular card in the sideboard. Obviously, you have your Suite of Hate. You have your Blood Moons because you're playing red. Why not?
Yeah.
Your Burdened Forge Tender because I
Anger
assume
of the
Anger of the Gods is really bad.
Kind of terrifying.
It destroys you.
Sure.
But you have 2 Suture Priests.
Yeah.
Once again, we're going deep on 14th draft picks here.
This one I might have taken 12th, but
all right,
sure.
fair enough. So Suture Priest, what exactly is that for?
So Suture Priest has a couple of good applications. It's different from most Soul Sisters. It gains you life off your creatures, but it's going to kill your opponent. It takes damage away from them.
Sure.
And Twin cannot go off with that on the board, just like with any other sister. So it's just extra hatred for the Twin decks, which you're already fairly good against. But stuff like Black-White Tokens, it just ruins their entire game plan.
So if anyone's trying to go wide with you, that's probably not a good
Exactly.
idea.
And a lot of Black-White Tokens decks, they're running Auriok Champion as well. So the life can start to get out of control. If this helps you cancel that out. And I guess it's kind of good in the mirror, but I'm not expecting
You're not expecting the mirror?
I have a feeling it might not happen.
You should expect it now. I mean, you're on camera. You gave away all your secrets.
I've blown it right out the water.
All right, so you have your suite of red-white lands. You're playing Cavern of Souls too.
Yes.
Obviously, because you have mono-humans, basically.
Mono-humans, and also Cavern of Souls on God, really good against Jeskai.
Yeah, you obviously want to land your Perforos to just win. But you have 1 land out of the new set, Blighted Steppe.
Yeah.
How much life are you really looking to gain here, man?
I mean, all of it's fine.
All of it?
Yeah, just all of it.
Okay.
It's fine. Blighted Steppe has, on more than one occasion with this deck, taken me from 15, 16 life to attack you for 12 with my 2 Sarah's Ascendants. It's just for 4 mana, you sack 1 land. Your deck tops out at 4 anyway. You can just sack 1 land and you pretty much win the game from that point.
Huh.
Now, it's really bad if you have no board.
Yeah. Yeah, when you're top decking the Blighted Steppe with no board.
I mean, that's why we have the Forge Tenders to protect us.
Of course. So, the real question is, how are the mechanics with this deck? So there's a lot of triggers, right?
Yes.
So one thing you might have to worry about, usually you don't in a format such as Modern, because it's usually pretty fast, but your deck's doing a lot of things. So how have you practiced the mechanics? Because I have to assume playing this on like Magic Online is just a nightmare because you just have like 20 triggers a turn that you have to put on the stack.
Yeah,
and
knowing your hotkeys in Magic Online is a huge plus with this deck. In paper, it's a lot easier. You can ask your opponent, I'm just going to say trigger once to acknowledge all of these. They don't have to allow you to. Most of the time, it helps both of you. We've got 50 minutes to get through a match.
And they're not killing you anytime soon.
No. It takes an absolute genius not to miss a trigger with this deck. You are going to miss some triggers.
So are you claiming you're not one of those?
I can't tell you I've never missed a trigger.
Okay. All right, you've heard it here. He's a judge, too.
So yeah, you have to be careful. You're going to be gaining a lot of life. Remember, it comes off your opponent's creatures too, so that's important. If you miss 1 or 2 triggers, it's probably not going to cost you the game, unless it's on your Champion of the Parish or your Ajani's Pridemate. Those are your 2 biggest ones. 1 or 2 points of life here and there, you can sometimes get away with it.
All right, and finally, what are you looking to dodge, basically? Because obviously this is good. It seems good against like aggro decks, creature decks in general.
So,
but what are you looking to dodge?
Please no Tron.
No
ever.
Tron?
No,
okay.
No Tron.
I don't think you can beat Tron.
That's why we have Blood Moon. Okay. You're okay against Abzan. Zoo and Burn are fine. Jund can be dicey because they have a lot of the removal and disruption. But Tron, Bloom is not great. Sometimes they have trouble getting up high enough in 3 or 4 turns to kill you before you can kill their Titans. So mostly the fair decks. Infect is terrible.
Well, yeah, they don't really care.
I have 60 life. I don't actually care. So Infect, Tron, Bloom-ish. Those are the ones I'm looking to dodge.
Fair enough. Well, if you're looking for a deck to do, a lot of triggers and you'd be a little wary of your opponent, then this looked like the deck for you. Thanks for taking us.
Thank you.
From the sideboard.
A pleasure.
Appreciate it. Soul Man Chris Lansdale himself. You guys stay tuned for more action here at the Invitational.